Former President Jimmy Carter says he believes U.S. talks with North Korea could lead to that country's denuclearization. We sat down for a wide-ranging interview with the 93-year-old Nobel Peace Prize recipient. His new book, Faith, A Journey for All, is out today. It is published by Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS. Mr. Carter left the White House nearly 4 decades ago, but remains a knowledgeable source on U.S. diplomacy with North Korea. You've been to North Korea 3 times.
I've been there. I've spent about 20 hours in detailed talks with the top leaders of North Korea. I think I understand what the North Koreans want. And what the leaders want is a guarantee that can be confirmed that the United States will not attack North Korea preemptively as long as North Korea stays at peace with its neighbors.
President Trump has now announced he's willing to sit down.
I'm glad to hear that and hope he'll be successful. I pray that he will. I've offered to President Trump directly on 2 occasions since he's been in office that I would be glad to help in any way, even to go to North Korea if needed. I don't want to go if I don't have to. I'm, as you said, over 93 years old. But I would be glad to do whatever he wanted me to do.
You mean hold like a preliminary meeting with Kim Jong-un before President Trump?
Whatever the president wants. It's against the law and against my principles to intercede without permission from the president. But if President Trump wanted me to help in any way, I would be glad to do that.
Russia, once again, back in the news, and today President Trump announcing he would expel 60 Russians from the U.S. over that poison attack in Britain. Has President Trump taken a hard enough stance against Russia's meddling?
I don't think President Trump has. One reason, I think the main reason, is that he doesn't want to admit in any way that the Russians were influential in his election. He wants to give that credit directly to the American people. And in the last few weeks, I think President Trump has shown for the first time a willingness to stand up against the policies of Russia. I think he'd go a little bit further along, but I think he's begun to change his attitude.
I'm almost embarrassed to ask this question, but you know, there's so many problems facing America and people in need, and yet there's an entire discussion about this current president and a alleged affair he had with an adult film star. What do you make of that?
It'll help the Democratic Party in 2018 and perhaps in 2020, and will be damaging to President Trump. I think most people want a president whom they trust to tell the truth always and who has some basic moral values, including loyalty to his own wife. So in a way, it'll be damaging, but I don't think it's going to have nearly as much effect as it would have had, say, 20 years ago.
President Carter was in New York Monday to promote the release of his new book, a reflection on faith and its impact on our lives.
What number book is this?
32.
Your 32nd book.
Yeah.
I know you're not traveling as much.
No, I'm not.
It seems like you're hardly slowing down.
Well, I'm going to slow down. Rosa and I both, since Rosa's been ill, she's past 90 now, and so it's time for us to back away from some things.
I know you have had melanoma, and congratulations on being in remission now for more than 2 years.
That's right.
How's your health?
Right now, it's good.
And what do the doctors say about your prognosis?
At this point, the prognosis is good, but I'm not overconfident, but I'm a lot more confident than I was for a while, and thankful.
I know when you announced your diagnosis in 2015, you said you were surprisingly at ease. And in the book, you write that we thought that I had only a few weeks to live, and Rosa and I began making plans for my death. What plans have you made?
Well, I called all my family together and told them that I was going to die quite soon, and I shared that information with the leaders of the Carter Center, where Rosa and I spend a lot of our time. And so I was prepared to go, but things turned out for the better.
But that's an unusual thing, to prepare to say goodbye and then be granted a great deal more time.
That's true. Well, I've been very fortunate in many ways. Yeah.
So do you think this is your last book?
I think so, but I thought the last one was my last one. And so this has been the most difficult book I've ever written. Just about faith, you know, just a simple title, because there's so many different meanings of faith.
Right, you're talking about more than just faith in God.
Well, faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in your fellow human beings, faith in the equality of people in the eyes of God.
Are you concerned that there's a lack of faith in many of these?
Yeah, well, we've lost a lot of faith in each other, the eagerness to accommodate different opinions. A lot of Americans have lost faith in themselves. We've lost faith in democracy.
Why do you think that faith is being challenged?
It's been challenged, but I still have faith in the long-term correction of our problems. I teach a Bible class every Sunday. What should I do personally as a human being? And when I ask my 200 or 300 visitors every Sunday if they think that our country can overcome the challenges it faces today, they almost unanimously respond, yes, we have confidence in America, we have faith in America, and the principles on which it was founded. So I think we still have faith in the basic rudiments of life in this country.
Boy, Jimmy Carter's such a class act, Norah.
He is. It's a really nice book. You know, not only has he studied world religions, but he's studied so many philosophers too, and so the book is a nice read. But he also brings up issues that I think have fallen off perhaps the front pages or the front of our minds, which are income inequality, the threat of nuclear war, the idea that, you know, he's done so much with Habitat for Humanity, that charity is one way that actually brings people together. People who may not agree with each other ideologically find a lot in common through charity. So I think a lot of values that will resonate with a lot of people.
I love that he says he's ready to slow down, but yet he's willing to go to North Korea fast. Yeah.
At 93.
Yeah, 93, yeah. That's an easy task.
I know,
Wow.
I know. It was a pleasure to spend some time with him.
Yeah, I could tell.
Former President Carter also spoke about the renewed debate over guns, and so to hear why he says students from Parkland, Florida could force a change after the school shooting, visit our website, cbsthismorning.com.